Imagine a world, not too long ago, where empires stretched across continents, their grand architecture dominating horizons, their technology whispered to be far beyond our understanding. Now, imagine it all vanished, erased. Welcome to the enigmatic mystery of the Tartarian Empire, a civilization, some claim, that was deliberately wiped from our history books, leaving only cryptic clues and a profound sense of what might have been. Join us as we delve into the shadows of forgotten time, seeking to uncover the truth behind the greatest historical cover-up you've never heard of.
The Vanished Empire, uncovering the mystery of Tartaria's disappearance.
Our journey begins by challenging the very foundations of our historical understanding. Imagine a world far grander and more technologically advanced than we are led to believe. An empire of immense scale and sophistication that has been systematically erased from public consciousness. This is the premise of the Tartarian Empire, a concept that has captivated alternative historians and fueled countless debates. Mainstream narratives paint a picture of a linear progression of technology and civilization, yet scattered across the globe are enigmatic structures, buildings of extraordinary grandeur, precision, and a distinctive old-world aesthetic that seem to defy the capabilities of the eras to which they are officially attributed. We find ourselves asking, are these magnificent edifices, often described as too elaborate for their supposed builders or too advanced for their time, merely remnants of a forgotten global civilization? This opening scene sets the stage for an exploration into a history that feels both familiar and deeply unsettlingly unfamiliar, inviting viewers to question everything they thought they knew about our past and the true origins of the world's most enduring architectural marvels. The sheer scale and uniformity of these structures across continents suggest a common hand, a unified vision that transcends conventional historical timelines and national boundaries, hinting a lost golden age of humanity that mainstream history has conveniently overlooked.
The journey into the lost history of Tartaria often begins with a deep dive into cartography. For centuries, across various European and Russian maps dating from the 16th to the 19th century, a vast, enigmatic landmass named Tartary or Great Tartary prominently appears. This wasn't merely a small province, but an enormous territory, often depicted as stretching across much of northern Asia, Siberia, and parts of Eastern Europe, larger than any empire known to mainstream history, except perhaps the Mongol Empire, which it is often conflated with. These maps, meticulously drawn and often beautifully illustrated, show not only geographical features, but also cities, rivers, and even specific cultural identifiers attributed to the Tartarian people. Yet in later centuries, this vast empire gradually shrinks, disappears, or is redesignated, until it vanishes almost entirely from modern atlases and historical narratives. The question arises, was this a simple reclassification of uncharted territories, or did something far more profound occur? Was Tartaria merely a geographical designation for unknown lands, or was it the actual historical record of a powerful, unified civilization whose presence was later deliberately expunged? This scene, visually and historically, examines these ancient maps, highlighting the inconsistencies and the peculiar disappearance of such a significant entity.
Beyond the maps, the most compelling evidence for a forgotten Tartarian empire lies in the staggering old-world architecture scattered across the globe. From the grand public buildings of Washington, D.C., to the opulent palaces of St. Petersburg, from the majestic structures of Paris to the intricate temples of Southeast Asia, a remarkable uniformity of style, scale, and advanced construction techniques can be observed.
These buildings, often adorned with colossal columns, intricate friezes, massive domes, and advanced statuary, seem to transcend the capabilities and resources of their officially attributed builders and eras. Proponents of Tartarian theories point to the sheer impossibility of constructing such colossal and ornate structures using the primitive technologies supposedly available in the 18th and 19th centuries, especially when considering the lack of detailed construction records or the rapid pace at which entire cities were supposedly built. They argue that these are not mere imitations of classical styles, but rather original remnants of a global civilization that possessed superior knowledge of engineering, acoustics, and perhaps even free energy technologies, which allowed for the effortless creation of such magnificent edifices. This scene showcases a visual montage of these architectural marvels, inviting the viewer to question their true origins and the official narratives surrounding them. Among the most intriguing architectural anomalies attributed to Tartaria are the so-called star forts. These geometrically perfect, multi-pointed fortifications, often designed in the shape of a star or snowflake, are found across the globe, from Europe to Japan, the Americas to Africa. Their sophisticated polygonal designs, featuring sharp angles and overlapping fields of fire, are remarkably effective defensive structures. Yet their prevalence and often inexplicable locations, far from conventional battlefields, raise many questions. Mainstream history attributes them to Renaissance military engineering designed to counter artillery. However, Tartarian theorists posit that these structures served a dual purpose. Defensive, yes, but also as sophisticated energy conduits or part of a global interconnected free energy grid. They suggest the precise geometric layouts and often subterranean components hint at a deeper, more advanced understanding of telluric currents or atmospheric energy than simple gunpowder-era warfare. The sheer number, uniformity, and often buried nature of these structures challenge the accepted narrative of their development and purpose, hinting at a truly global, unified civilization with an advanced technological understanding. This scene delves into the visual evidence of star forts, exploring their striking design and challenging their conventional historical explanations. Perhaps the most controversial and captivating aspect of Tartarian theories revolves around the idea of free energy and advanced technological understanding. Proponents argue that the magnificent structures of Tartaria, including those grand buildings and star forts, were not merely architectural marvels, but sophisticated devices designed to harness ambient energy from the atmosphere or the Earth's telluric currents. The ubiquitous presence of obelisks, spires, and domes in old-world architecture, often made of specific materials like quartz, is seen not as mere aesthetic choices, but as functional components of a global energy grid. This theory suggests that Tartarians possess knowledge akin to Nikola Tesla's ideas of wireless energy transmission, utilizing the very ether to power their cities and technologies. Evidence cited includes the lack of visible power infrastructure in historical photographs of these advanced cities, as well as the unique properties of certain materials used in their construction. This scene explores these speculative claims, showcasing examples of energy-collecting architecture and presenting the intriguing, albeit unproven, idea of a world once powered by an abundant, clean, and freely available energy source, fundamentally different from our current fossil fuel-dependent paradigm. It asks whether our history has been deliberately rewritten to conceal a past where energy was not a commodity to be controlled. Perhaps the most visually arresting and often cited piece of evidence for the Tartarian narrative is the mud flood phenomenon. This theory posits that a catastrophic, globe-spanning event, a massive deluge of mud or liquefied earth,
occurred sometime in the 19th century, burying the lower floors and sometimes entire structures of advanced Tartarian buildings. Everywhere one looks, in old cities across the world, there are buildings where the basement windows are at street level, or where the ground floor is seemingly half submerged, with doors and windows now serving as access points to underground spaces. This isn't attributed to gradual subsidence or simple architectural design, but rather a sudden, widespread deposition of Earth. Tartarian theorists argue that this mud flood was either a natural disaster of unprecedented scale or a deliberate terraforming event designed to bury and conceal the advanced infrastructure of a previous civilization, preparing the ground for a new, rewritten history. This scene visually explores numerous examples of mud-flooded buildings using historical photographs and modern observations to highlight the consistent pattern of buried architecture, forcing viewers to question the conventional explanations for these widespread anomalies and consider the implications of a hidden, buried past beneath our feet.
If the mud flood theory holds true, it implies a vast, hidden infrastructure beneath our modern cities. Tartarian theories suggest that the buried floors of these magnificent buildings are not merely damp basements, but rather entire functioning levels, sometimes interconnected by a network of underground tunnels, transportation systems, and utility conduits. This hidden world might have once comprised sophisticated heating, cooling, and communication networks, perhaps even advanced pneumatic or electromagnetic transport systems, all powered by the free energy sources discussed earlier. Evidence for this subterranean world is often cited through historical anecdotes of inexplicable underground passages, the discovery of intricately tiled basements that seem too grand for their purpose, and the sheer depth of some building foundations. The idea is that much of Tartaria's advanced civilization, when faced with a global catastrophe or intentional erasure, simply went underground or had its lower levels sealed off and forgotten. This scene explores the tantalizing possibility of a vast, forgotten subterranean world beneath our feet, presenting visual cues and historical accounts that hint at the existence of a hidden infrastructure far more extensive and advanced than mainstream history allows for, inviting viewers to imagine the secrets that lie just beneath the surface of our familiar world.
The ultimate claim of Tartarian theories is not just the existence of a lost empire, but its deliberate erasure from mainstream history. This Great Reset, or soft kill event, is theorized to have occurred primarily in the 19th century, coinciding with major global upheavals, widespread fires in major cities, and the alleged mud flood. Proponents suggest that after a catastrophic event, a concerted effort was made by a ruling elite or controllers to systematically dismantle Tartarian society, rewrite history books, destroy evidence, and repopulate cities with new narratives. This wasn't merely a natural societal evolution, but a deliberate suppression of knowledge and technology, aimed at establishing a new world order built on a different technological and social paradigm. The grand Tartarian structures were either rebranded with new origins, demolished, or buried. History, as we know it, became a fabricated narrative designed to conceal a more advanced and benevolent past. This scene explores the chilling possibility of such an orchestrated historical deletion, presenting the chronological anomalies and the historical gaps that fuel the Great Reset theory, inviting viewers to ponder the unsettling implications of a rewritten past and the very nature of historical truth.
Following the alleged Great Reset event and the systematic destruction or alteration of Tartarian infrastructure, a crucial component of the Tartarian narrative involves the repopulation of newly modernized cities. Alternative historians point to the orphan trains phenomenon in North America and similar programs globally in the 19th and early 20th centuries as potential evidence of this repopulation effort.
thousands of children, often from impoverished or immigrant backgrounds, were forcibly relocated from East Coast cities to the American West, or from urban centers to rural areas, ostensibly for their welfare. Tartarian theorists interpret this differently, as a means to provide labor for rebuilding efforts on the mud-flooded or fire-ravaged cities, and to populate a world where the original inhabitants had been wiped out or displaced by the cataclysm. These children, often stripped of their true identities and histories, would then grow up with no memory of the previous advanced civilization, thus cementing the new, rewritten historical narrative. This scene delves into the somber and often tragic history of these orphan trains and similar programs, reframing them through the lens of Tartarian theory as a method of societal restructuring and historical amnesia, inviting viewers to consider the human cost of a deliberately erased past. If Tartarian technology and art were indeed superior, then how was this knowledge assimilated or hidden? The theory suggests that world fairs and international expositions of the late 19th and early 20th centuries played a dual role. On one hand, they were presented as showcases of human ingenuity and progress, displaying the latest technological advancements and architectural marvels. On the other hand, Tartarian proponents argue these expositions were actually temporary displays of captured or salvaged Tartarian technology and architectural styles, carefully rebranded and presented as new innovations of the era. The incredible speed at which these grand, elaborate fairgrounds were constructed, often featuring massive domes, intricate palaces, and advanced lighting systems, only to be entirely dismantled after a few months, is seen as suspicious. Why build such magnificent structures, supposedly demonstrating the pinnacle of modern design and engineering, only to destroy them without a trace? The theory posits that the true purpose was to present new technologies, gather public awe, and then systematically remove the evidence of their Tartarian origins, preventing any lingering questions about where such an advanced knowledge truly came from. This scene visually explores the grandeur and subsequent disappearance of World's Fair architecture, posing uncomfortable questions about their true purpose and the transient nature of their magnificent displays. For Tartarian theories to hold weight, there must be a mechanism for the suppression and concealment of evidence. The Smithsonian Institution, with its vast collections and historical authority, frequently becomes a focal point for such allegations. Alternative historians suggest that institutions like the Smithsonian, along with other powerful academic and governmental bodies, have played a role in systematically collecting, categorizing, and ultimately concealing evidence that contradicts mainstream historical narratives. This includes artifacts that point to advanced ancient civilizations, evidence of giants, or geological findings that challenge established timelines. The argument is that by controlling the narrative and access to artifacts, these institutions maintain a carefully constructed version of history, thereby safeguarding a particular paradigm of human development and technological progression. This scene delves into the controversial allegations against institutions like the Smithsonian, exploring the claims of suppressed archaeological finds, unusual artifacts hidden from public view, and the mechanisms by which a dominant historical narrative is maintained. It invites viewers to question the authority of historical gatekeepers and consider the possibility of a deliberately curated historical record that serves specific agendas, ultimately asking, what secrets might truly lie hidden within the vaults of our most revered cultural institutions, and what truths have been deemed too disruptive to reveal?
Beyond architectural anomalies and historical erasures, some Tartarian theories delve into even more esoteric claims, connecting the lost empire with the legends of giants or a pre-Adamic race. These theories suggest that the original inhabitants of Tartaria were not entirely human as we understand ourselves today, but a race of much larger, more robust beings, perhaps even the giants mentioned in various ancient texts, mythologies, and religious scriptures from around the world. Proponents point to alleged archaeological finds of oversized skeletons, the massive scale of some ancient constructions that seem designed for beings much larger than humans, and the consistent appearance of giant figures in historical artwork and folklore. This giant connection offers a radical explanation for the advanced capabilities of Tartaria, suggesting that these beings possessed not only superior physical strength, but also advanced knowledge and a different understanding of the world. This scene explores these highly speculative, yet deeply intriguing claims, presenting a collection of visual and textual evidence that hints at a forgotten race of giants, inviting viewers to ponder the origins of humanity itself and the possibility that our past is far stranger and more complex than we ever imagined, with implications that challenge our very understanding of evolution and civilization.
While the Tartarian theories offer a compelling and often visually stunning alternative history, it is crucial to also address the mainstream perspectives that largely dismiss these claims. Mainstream historians, archaeologists, and scientists typically explain the architectural anomalies as products of various classical revival movements, where architects across the globe drew inspiration from Greco-Roman styles, adapting them to new materials and engineering advancements of the Industrial Revolution. The star forts are attributed to the evolution of military strategy against gunpowder artillery, and their prevalence is explained by the widespread adoption of successful defensive designs. The mud flood is often attributed to gradual subsidence, geological processes, urban landfill projects, or the natural accumulation of debris over centuries. The maps of Tartary are seen as reflections of evolving geographical knowledge and the political divisions of vast, often uncharted Eurasian territories, not a unified empire. Furthermore, the idea of a great reset or deliberate historical erasure is generally considered to be unsupported by credible evidence, often dismissed as conspiracy theory. This scene briefly but clearly presents the mainstream counterarguments, offering a balanced perspective and acknowledging the established academic explanations for the phenomenon discussed, allowing viewers to weigh both sides of the argument and fostering critical thinking about the nature of historical inquiry and evidence. Despite the robust counterarguments from mainstream academia, the Tartarian Empire narrative continues to captivate and proliferate, especially in the digital age. This enduring mystery speaks to a deep human desire to uncover hidden truths, to question official narratives, and to believe in a past more extraordinary than the one we are taught. The unexplained grandeur of old-world architecture, the peculiar maps, and the countless historical anomalies serve as potent fuel for the imagination, prompting individuals to seek answers beyond the conventional.
So different from everything
Whether these
else
theories are
around here.
dismissed as mere fantasy or embraced as glimpses into a forgotten reality, they undeniably tap into a fundamental human curiosity about our origins and the true scope of human potential. This scene reflects on the psychological and philosophical appeal of alternative histories, acknowledging that the allure of a lost, advanced civilization offers a powerful counter-narrative to a world grappling with its own technological and societal challenges. It explores why, even in the face of scientific skepticism, the mystery of Tartaria continues to resonate so deeply with so many, inviting us to consider the powerful human need for wonder and for the stories that challenge our perceived limitations, highlighting the enduring human quest for a deeper, more profound understanding of where we came from and what we are truly capable of. As we conclude our exploration into the enigmatic world of the Tartarian Empire, the true purpose of this documentary is not to definitively prove or disprove these theories, but to encourage critical thinking,
independent research, and a healthy skepticism towards all established narratives, whether mainstream or alternative. The sheer volume of architectural anomalies, the inconsistencies in historical maps, the peculiar mud flood phenomenon, and the questions surrounding world's fairs and institutional cover-ups collectively demand a deeper, more open-minded inquiry into our shared past. While the concept of a grand, lost civilization systematically erased from history may seem fantastical, the evidence presented by alternative historians challenges us to look closer, to question what we've been taught, and to consider the possibility that our understanding of history is far from complete. The story of Tartaria, whether fact or elaborate fiction, serves as a powerful reminder that history is not a static collection of facts, but a dynamic, often contested narrative. It urges us to remain curious, to seek out multiple perspectives, and to embrace the discomfort of uncertainty. For it is often in the shadows of the unexplained that the most profound truths might lie hidden. This final scene leaves the audience with a powerful call to action, to embark on their own journey of discovery, to question everything, and to never cease exploring the boundless mysteries of human history and potential.